Or to drink coffee don't know. To begin, the first one on the list is called coffee grading. We'll show you a quick video to basically get us started. I think.
Because we select and process it ourselves to our own standards.
Saya sendiri sebagai chef.
Well,
Coffee is like my best friend actually in the morning.
You can smell the coffee's aroma. That's when I started to notice coffee. Saya sendiri sebagai chef itu kopi salah satu yang saya konsumsi tiap hari.
So for me, a good coffee is a morning coffee. I have my coffee once a day.
I just cannot function without coffee.
As an Australian-Italian coffee fanatic, I discovered the Indonesian archipelago was actually home to some very good and historic Arabicas. While coffee was born in Ethiopia, the first commercial cultivation of Arabica, as we know it today, was in colonial Java some 350 years ago. The system of cultivation and trading has not changed much in all this time. Smallholder farmers supply small collectors, who then supply larger collectors, till eventually it all ends up at a large trading company. It can take as long as 2 years or more before the coffee from the farmer gets into the hands of the roaster and the consumer who finally drink it. The coffee is sold in different grades, from the expensive grade 1 to the cheap grade 6. Coffee grading is the removal of defect beans such as mouldy, rotten or black beans, insect damaged, underripe or even deformed beans. These defects adversely affect the taste and health characteristics of the final coffee you drink. Coffee manufacturers rarely provide information to the coffee drinker on the exact grade of coffee they are consuming. The problem we faced was inconsistency in terms of taste and quality of the green beans that we could buy commercially. Quintino's Farmer Direct system has taken many years to develop. Essentially, we have established our own facilities and staff in the remote growing regions to work and buy directly from the farmers. Quintino's staff then process the coffee at our own facility to our own high standards. This coffee is then air freighted from the region directly to our own standalone grading facility in Java, where Quintino staff then regrade all our coffee to SCAA standard. Once graded, the coffee is then sent to our roast house for roasting and packing. Quintino's packs all our coffee with our revolutionary Q-Fresh packaging system. This allows our packaged coffee to stay fresh for longer and avoid the effects of staling for more than 12 months. The advantages of Farmer Direct: fresh green beans at the time of roasting means you can taste the true character of the coffee origin. More consistent coffee because we select and process it ourselves to our own standards directly from the farm. Better tasting and healthy coffee because we grade it to our own high standards with less defects. Better roasting and flavour because of knowledge. We specialise in the Indonesian Arabicas and we know how each of the origins should taste and how best to roast it.
For me, I like to buy the best. Not because it's going to be expensive, it's just has to be the best in terms of taste and production quality.
If I'm going somewhere to get a coffee, I think I need from now on, I need to ask them, where did your coffee bean came from?
Kita lihat dari mana asal itu, dan ditanam di mana, dan siapa pengelolanya.
So coffee's the same. You can be drinking cheap coffee, but once you taste the good one, that's where you're going to go for your next one.
At Quintino's, it's all about specialising in Indonesian Arabicas, Italian roasting passion, and Farmer Direct. For pure, traceable coffee you can trust, because we know where your coffee came from. Quintino's, the coffee you want to start your day with.
Okay, so things your barista doesn't tell you. Secret number one, coffee grading. Have you ever wondered what sets one coffee apart from another? One of them is called coffee grading. As you saw in the video, coffee's sold in different grades. Now, for example, the coffees in front of us, they're the green beans, are all Sumatran mandolins. And there's grade 5, and it can go as low as grade 6, but that's grade 5 to grade 1, and with Quintino's we have our own grade, we even take it up a little bit more. And what it is the removal of the defects, the mouldy coffee, the coffee that hit the floor that got infected with fungus and damaged beans, things that basically taste bad and it will upset your stomach. What happens is the coffee is sold in a different price range. So when you go to a supermarket, you go to the retailer, you have a look and you see, oh, there's all these Sumatran mandolins, and they're all different prices. Why is one so cheap and the other so expensive? Very simple. As you start taking the defects out of the beans, right, then the price of the coffee starts to escalate dramatically. We're talking a difference of $1 to $6 in the difference in pricing. So you can see the way it can escalate greatly. Why is this done? Because not all the coffee not all the coffee needs to get used, and the reason and some people just don't need the higher grades. But why, if you're worried about your health and an upset stomach, or you worry, let's just say I see it many times, people talking, is coffee healthy for you? That question gets asked of me a lot. Well, before you ask the question, is coffee healthy for you, because I'm not a doctor, I can't answer that. What I can tell you though, is first check, is the coffee you're drinking healthy? Right? Is it a grade 1? And that's something you just will not find on a retail pack. They'll never put the grade of the coffee they're making it from. So, how do you know if you're buying a grade? And by the way, if you zoom in and take a look, you'll see the difference is quite dramatic, but you can't tell when the beans are roasted. So your next question to me is I want to drink healthier coffee, or I have a sensitive stomach, or it gives me heartburn, I have problems with coffee. First off, what coffee are you drinking? Right? Make sure you're drinking a high quality one. And for a high quality coffee, you really, you'll need to pay for that, because the beans themselves are a lot more expensive to grade. Okay, so, going back onto it. Now, how do I tell in retail, right? I've got 3 or 4 different coffees. How do I tell which one's the more expensive, or which one's graded better than the other? It's actually quite simple. Take a packet of coffee, smell it. Roasted coffee, smell the coffee. Next, make a regular coffee the way you normally drink it, either espresso or regular, and make a cup of coffee and taste it. If you've got if you've got a beautiful clean smell, generally that coffee's been well graded. And when you taste it, you should be left with a clean, smooth aftertaste. Again, that'll tell you. If it tastes good, it probably is good. Price-wise, that's where it gets it's a yes and no situation. If you've got a very cheap coffee, the odds are that it's not so, you're going to be hard to buy good quality beans at a very cheap price. If you've got but a reasonably priced coffee or an expensive coffee, may not necessarily be made from good quality beans. Branding and marketing and retail, things can get a bit odd. Okay, so next question we have, we're sort of leading into question and answer time. Should we question and answer? Okay. Oh, okay. So we've just started with so the price. We've done that. Any questions? Okay. Are certifications such as RFA Organic, Fair Trade, or 4C, are these, sometimes when you buy a packet of coffee, there'll be certain certifications on the packet. Are they helpful in telling you what grade or is the coffee, or the taste of the coffee? Certifications are not used to talk about the grade of the coffee. They are there for other reasons. Organic is to show how the coffee was grown. RFA, Rainforest Alliance, is to do with how the land was treated. Fair trade is about how much the coffee farmer was paid. It's have got nothing to do with the quality of the coffee in the packet. Next. Okay, so to continue. Now, coffee roasting. Basically, coffee's roasted 3 ways. If you look at the whole industry, you'll hear a lot of talk in the cafes about how you like your coffee: third wave, dark, city roast, light roast. The best way to look at it is coffee is generally roasted dark. The people that like bold, heavy, espresso type coffee. Medium roast, which is what Quintino's does, is more to a character of the coffee. The beans have been fully roasted. They're before second crack, so you can still taste and develop all the flavours, and you can taste the coffee, and it's a little bit more acidic, a little lighter and more cleaner. And then there's in recent years, there's a thing called first wave. A third wave is basically what coffee just after first crack. This one's quite acidic. Some people with sensitive stomachs find it a little bit too acidic. Mostly it's used in cafes for cappuccinos. Works very well in a cappuccino. If you're tasting coffee, by the way, never taste a cappuccino to see if a coffee's good or bad, simply because the milk hides the taste. You really need to taste an espresso or regular coffee. Okay. Next. Okay. All right. Okay. Now, what else can we tell you? All right. So, Quintino's itself, we've been doing this for about 15 years, and we started a long time ago, and since in the last 5-6 years we've seen a big rush of small roasters coming into the industry, which is great. Okay. What made me particularly interested in Indonesian coffee industry? A bit of an accident. I basically came along, was doing something else at the time, saw a novel little coffee idea which I thought would be great, our Q bags, and drip coffee bags, and we started making those, and then we were struggling to get good consistent beans to go into a cup. So well, we thought, well, hang on, we're in Java, we're very close to the coffee sources, we can build our own supply chain direct from the farmers and have something unique in the world. Okay, next question. Green beans. What green beans do we tend to use? It's all a personal taste. Coffee is all about what you personally like. Some people like dark roast. Some people love the third wave. Me personally, I'm a medium, what we call city roast. Green beans, again, personal taste. I'm a huge fan of the Sumatrans. They're Aceh and in particular Lake Tobas. The issue with it is getting good Lake Tobas is not the easiest thing in the world, but when it's good, hard to beat. Okay. Okay, so one of the questions is, do we know the difference between low density and high density roasting? I'm not sure what you mean. I think what we were talking about before is third wave would be considered light roasting, high roasting would be considered dark. Dark means you've gone past second crack. You've actually burning the coffee, if you know what I mean. Not so much burning it, but it's coming out quite black. You get a much more low acidity, much more body, and works very well in an espresso machine. The light roasting, a lot of the caramelization reactions haven't happened, but you're really tasting the bean itself when you're doing the light roasting. For me, as I say, we're middle of the road. Where's Quintino's available in Indonesia? We available online, of course, across Indonesia. We have distribution in Bali and in Bali. We have distribution in Bali, Jakarta, of course, Medan and Surabaya. We have a small office in Surabaya and a little cafe in Bali. Okay, what makes us different from other roasters? We're very technical, and I would say this not just for Indonesia, this is worldwide. We're very different because I come from a technical background, so we like to innovate. We like to do things quite differently and come up with new products, new ideas, ways to get the coffee pure, but package it up, extend the shelf life, put it in a more convenient form. Okay. The drip bags, as I say, they were a great little idea, the Q-bag drip bags. We came up with those. They're a copy of a Japanese product, but when we saw them, we didn't like them. They weren't very good. What we did was we took them, put premium coffee in them, and put an extra shelf life, a shelf life system, a system in place so that we could extend their shelf life. We thought most people drink regular coffee in the world. The drip bag makes a great regular coffee, but other systems focus on making single serve systems focus on making espresso, which actually not a lot of people do. So we think the drip bags got a lot to offer in making a better regular coffee. Okay, just looking at other questions here. Okay. Again, what makes, again, is coffee healthy to drink is coffee a healthy drink for people to drink? Some people say yes, some people say no. If you look at the internet, there's a lot of people say coffee is great for a lot of reasons, the naturopath reasons. Coffee has nicotine, tobacco, has caffeine inside of it. Caffeine's a natural insecticide. So is a natural insecticide. So when you drink a cup of coffee, that little bit of poison actually helps your system. It elevates your blood, gets your heart pumping, and some people say it's good for you, some people say it's not, but definitely that's what gives you the kickstart. Your body reacts to the caffeine and your heart starts pumping and you start getting a jolt of energy. Okay. All right. Some of us are saying, so what? Some of the things that's happened in the coffee industry so far. Well, what's happening in the coffee industry in Indonesia at the moment? Okay. Well, we started 15 years ago, and so there wasn't much around in those days. And it's great to see in the last 5 or 6 years a lot of artisan roasters, all with different styles and personalities popping up. The early days, it was very, very difficult to get Indonesian coffee, believe it or not, in Indonesia, because it was all exported. Today, there's a lot more focus, and there's a lot of smaller companies and individuals in the growing regions actually setting up proper processing facilities. The big problem with coffee is not, if you get a mandolin, it's not, is that coffee good? As you can see from the containers there. All the same coffee, as I say, all vastly different prices, taste and quality. The main reason is when you get the fruit, you have to process it correctly. And it's great to see that people are starting to take on the challenge in the growing areas of processing more carefully the fruit into final coffee beans, and they're getting rewarded with extra pricing. Okay, what else can we tell you? What else is there? We also do tea as well, direct from a plantation. For us at Quintino's, it's again based in Java, being close to the where they grow is sort of something everyone in the world wants. People in Western markets, they're starting to distrust the big production processes and commercial foods. They want to know where their food is coming from. Hence, if we're roasting here in Java, we can give stories and tell people, hey, these are the people that grew your coffee, these are the people that grow your tea, show you videos, show you what, show people what, where their coffee and their tea is actually coming from. Do we have any new projects? With the COVID, we've got we had a couple of new projects, but with the COVID, we've got a lot of stuff on hold, as most companies do. For Quintino's, we've been lucky. We've been in retail, and that hasn't been hit so badly. The people that supply cafes and restaurants and hotels have been hit pretty bad. We ourselves have been hit bad. So our new project for this year is just survive it. That's what I think everyone in the business at the moment is saying the same thing, is to keep the doors open and see if we can survive the end of the year. And as I say, we're probably in a better position than most because of the retail. Okay. So, what's our customer profile look like? The number one, the reason for having this subject is the number one question I'm asked is, customers come into the store, this has been going on 15 years. Customers come into the store and they say, oh, I heard your coffee's good, I can drink your coffee, but I can't drink other coffee because I get sakit perut, or it's too asam, or it's this or it's that. And again, it takes a long time to tell people, hey, it's not just, hey, I bought some expensive coffee, wherever, green beans, and I can make a great coffee. It takes time. You've got to literally control it from the farm all the way through. The interesting thing on the international market at the moment is that the smallholder farmers, which they're the ones that produce the really high quality coffee, they're all struggling at the moment because like any other commodity in the world, coffee is grown on big mega farms, especially in Brazil. They produce a very cheap, okay coffee, but nothing great. Now the smallholders, I see the future for them, taking time to really focus on growing good quality fruit, and then other people taking the fruit and processing it through to very high quality coffee where they can command a premium. You will see a shift in the last 10 years where specialty coffee was relatively unheard of, and in 10 years now, everyone's talking about it, and people are prepared to pay. In Europe, you can buy a packet of coffee in a supermarket in Amsterdam, for example, for €3, 250 grams, or specialty at €8, €9 for 250 grams. And people are prepared to pay because as long as it's better in quality. How did I get involved in coffee? Okay. Being Italian, it's a cultural thing. We grew up like 5 years old. My first job when I was a kid, was to make the mocha pot. Put coffee in basically the first thing you're taught as a young child is to make the coffee in the morning. That's just what happens in an Italian family. We all sort of love coffee? It's just part of the culture. It's part of who we are. That's why you notice the Italians are very strong in the coffee business. Okay, so it's time to wrap up. Oh, hang on. How do you manage if your seasonal bean has run out while the coffee's not in harvest season? Okay, if you're doing single origins, you generally have to stop making them if you run out of a special single origin. The big trick is with seasonal beans is to look around, get involved in the growing areas. There's always some beans around if you know where to look in the growing areas. If you go to that's one thing that you can't do outside the country because we're so close. We can ring our friends up in Medan. We can ring our friends in Takanon, in Java. We ring and ask, I haven't got any. Do you know anybody that has? So we can always find what we need. Sometimes you have to pay a little more, and then you know which beans can compensate for other beans. I guess we're starting to run out of time. How much? Okay, we're starting to get close. Okay, so I'd like to thank all the staff at Quintino's and thank you for your time. And the key message is coffee grading. Taste the coffee, smell it, smell the roasted beans, taste a regular coffee. If it tastes good and it smells good, it probably is good, but expect to pay for it. Okay, how's that? Okay, I'd like to thank all the staff. Thank you. Done. Sorry, Dom. I see one big problem. I tried to get my phone. I got no watch. For the next guest, the big problem, I had no clock.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I tried to get my phone over and I thought, if I bring my phone, I'll guarantee in the middle, it'll ring.
Yeah, okay, sorry.
No, that's okay. I couldn't tell the time, sorry.
Yeah.
Was that okay?
It's there, right?
I hope it wasn't too terrible. That's okay.
You're doing a great job.
Sorry, it was all over the place.
Yeah.
I got lost and then I couldn't work out the time.
Mengawali hari dengan informasi terkini, menjadi sumber referensi dan inspirasi di setiap aktivitas. Melalui news video portal, segala informasi dapat disajikan cepat, akurat dan lengkap. Dengan kekuatan teknologi digital, Midcom.id hadir dengan berita pilihan yang dikemas secara menarik. Midcom.id, digitally inspire people.
Sudah 15 menit, masih kejebak macet.
Tenang. Daripada emosi, 15 menit Anda jadi lebih berharga kalau bersama saya.
15 Minutes, setiap Rabu, jam 6 sore lewat 45 menit. Mediaindonesia.com hadir dengan opini cerdas dan narasumber kredibel, mudah diakses, informasi berkualitas ada di genggaman Anda. Klik di browser Anda www.mediaindonesia.com dan temukan pandangan berbeda, karena fakta bisa sama, sudut pandang boleh beda. Mediaindonesia.com, views and news.
dalam setiap denyut kota, saya selalu menjadi saksinya.
Disiarkan lebih dari 20 televisi jaringan Jawa Pos Group. Jawa Pos TV, paling Indonesia.
Kebebasan pers dan gelombang era digital menghadirkan ribuan bahkan jutaan informasi dan data setiap harinya. Beragam data dan informasi berserak di berbagai tempat seiring dengan perubahan dunia yang bergerak begitu cepat. Media-media baru pun bermunculan, namun kualitas informasi seolah tak lagi menjadi prioritas. Bahkan tak sedikit yang abai pada etika jurnalisme. Untuk menjawab tantangan itu, Kata Data hadir sejak April 2012 sebagai portal media di bidang ekonomi dan bisnis. Beragam sektor diulas mulai dari finansial, energi, pangan, hingga industri kreatif dan digital. Artikel mendalam dan komprehensif dengan sajian infografik yang menarik menjadi karakter utama dari Kata Data. Kata Data berikhtiar untuk terus menyajikan beragam informasi berkualitas untuk kemajuan negeri dan untuk kepentingan bisnis Anda. Kami percaya demokrasi yang sehat tumbuh dari kehadiran informasi dan data yang akurat.
Kalau bicara pakai data.
Hidup terlalu pendek untuk membiarkan pemikiran-pemikiranmu, ide-idemu terdiam begitu saja. Untuk berubah, kita perlu melangkah. Dan langkah itu lahir dari sebuah inspirasi. Republika, start moving.